Now, to tell us more about bees and honey and to take us through a honey tasting, we have Michael Hammond, Western Cape Beekeeper of the Year and the owner of Honey Room in the Loft. Welcome, Mike.
Hi, Polly. Thank you very much for having me.
Now, Mike, when it comes to bees, people have like two extreme reactions. Either run away, or some people, they like to look at them as good luck bringers at the end of the day. But you have brought us a whole bunch of luck when it comes to honey today.
Yes, yeah.
Now, what got you so in love and into the whole idea of beekeeping?
Well, first of all, the bee themselves, we have a very unique bee, the Cape honeybee, that is predominantly in the Western Cape area. So she's quite special to us. And then just the idea of the workings of a beehive, the intricacies of how a beehive works. And then obviously, secondly, is all the byproducts that bees can give us, which is propolis and beeswax and obviously the sweet stuff, honey.
Honey. Now, when everyone talks about the queen bee, the mother bee, and then the worker bees, how does that structure within a beehive actually work?
So the queen bee is actually more of a servant than we think. The worker bees determine the prosperity of the hive. The queen bee really just has a purpose of laying eggs and producing new bees, where the worker bees actually clean the hive and bring food in and do all that kind of stuff.
Interesting. Now, I've heard a rumor that just globally, bees are in danger. Is that the same case with in South Africa?
Yes, we have big issues with bees, pesticides, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So bees are under threat. But the reality is that bees are actually okay in South Africa. Our bees are very strong. The African honeybee is much stronger than the European bees. The problem with our bees are that we don't have enough forage for bees. So that's where we really punt for planting for bees and telling people to rather plant for bees than have a beehive in your backyard or that kind of thing. You know, preferably rather let's look after the bees in general rather than everybody wanting to become beekeepers.
True, absolutely true. And you know, my very next question was, what can we do? What can we do to help? So you're saying it's already planting for bees.
Yes.
Is that what you have got going on here?
So while being a cooking show, I thought I'd bring you some samples of ingredients for your kitchen, because then you service the bees and you service the kitchen. So these are very basic herbs that we can use every day. Some beautiful thyme, that's basil, and then rosemary. These all flower, very lovely flowers, and the bees just absolutely adore them. So
is there a reason, or are they just attracted to them?
I think it's the scent of the plant itself. That's why we like it. So obviously that attracts the bees. And then obviously we also look at the floral source, so the pollen and the nectar that the plant actually provides for the bees. So a lot of flowers are beautiful in your garden, but the pollen or nectar flow isn't that big. So they might look great and you might see a bee here or there around it. They don't feed the bee as we would like to. So for instance, the eucalyptus tree, everybody's cutting down the eucalyptus trees, but we actually as beekeepers, we strongly say, please don't do that. There's only certain eucalyptus trees that need to be cut down, where because without the eucalyptus plantations, we can't really service the agricultural industry. So
look at us learning. It truly is a masterclass here. So not only are we making sure to help the bees and continue them growing, but we're also kind of encouraging the green thumb and allowing us to get stuck in. Now, moving swiftly over to the honey, which is what we're celebrating here today. I'm already confused. I mean, the color difference between the first one to the very last one is vast.
Yes.
What is that difference, and why do they come in different colors, essentially?
So looking at the different colors of the honeys, first of all, that's the nectar flow. So the nectar of the plant will influence the color of the honey. So for instance, like this one here, which is a citrus honey, always a very nice light honey. It will always look like that. And then your eucalyptus honeys, which will be more of a sort of a general amber color, like, you know, your personal, like everybody's sort of reference to what honey should look like.
Yeah.
And then you get your darker honeys, which is more your wildflower honeys, your mountain honeys, that kind of thing.
Well, I'm ready to get into the tasting. So we're going to start here with the lighter honey. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So this is a very interesting honey. It's called canola honey. So a lot of beekeepers actually don't like canola honey because it sets in their hive very quickly. So the idea, it's quite a technical process of of extracting canola honey because you have to do it just in time, just as the bees are starting to cap the honey, which is what's happening here. That's the capping on the honey. So what we do there, the honey crystallizes basically overnight after you've extracted and bottled it. So it's a small crystal. It's a beautiful soft honey. It's basically what we call a soft set honey. So very mild in flavor, just nice and sweet. So very much my kind of honey that I would have with coffee because it doesn't overwhelm the taste of the coffee.
Yeah.
Or if you want to open that slab of chocolate in the fridge, rather go for a spoonful of that. The sugars and honey doesn't keep you awake at night, and also it's much healthier than eating that full slab of chocolate.
I love it. Let's move on to that very next honey. This is like a little bit in between the amber and the canola honey.
So that's your citrus honey. Like I said, that's always a very light honey. So it's a beautiful honey. It's almost like a summery honey, very sweet, a little bit acidic on the tongue. Personally, not my favorite honey, but a very popular honey, especially in the Western Cape. A lot of people love citrus honey.
Not your favorite. Okay, well, citrus, I love anything citrus, so I'm happy to have a taste of this
You'll
one.
also see the thickness of that honey.
Yeah,
We call it the viscosity of the honey. It's very thick, so that means that the water content is quite low. So that's the ideal honey is what you're looking for. It's a nice thick honey, one that doesn't just run. So, you know, some people say, oh, test your honey by the bubble. It's not really 100% true because some honeys are more watery than others. That is a natural, you know, that's how the bees do it. So, but this one always is very nice thick honey because it comes from the warmer areas.
Yeah.
The beekeepers leave it in a week or two extra just for that honey to really dry nicely. And then you get that super thick,
I
lovely
can already
citrus honey.
taste a huge difference between the first honey and the
Yes.
second honey, from the texture to the actual taste on the palate. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. I wonder why you don't like this one. I liked it. I liked it.
I like it. It's just there's so many others to choose from for me. So like, you know,
True.
like,
Maybe
so
I haven't even started
exactly.
yet. Okay.
So this is a Boerland eucalyptus honey. So eucalyptus is, like I said, it's your Winnie the Pooh honey. It's your easy to go to honey. Very caramelly, beautiful butterscotchy tones. It's your real winter. Let's put it in some warm water honey. You know.
Yeah, with a slice of lemon
Very good. Yeah.
in that hot water.
And
that
also,
is delicious.
personally, I'm a big peanut butter and honey fan. Don't tell the other beekeepers about that because, peanut butter with that honey is just absolutely gorgeous.
I can already
that
imagine
caramelly
that.
flavors just come out. Some nice white bread, awesome.
A winner. Okay, so
Yes.
we're halfway through our taste tester. Let's
Cool.
move on to the next one.
So this is a West Coast wildflower honey. This is from the Hopefield area.
Okay.
It's a nice woody honey, also very nice and thick. There you're going to get a little bit more of a sort of a herbal tone, where this one was more caramelly or more citrusy. There's a herbal tone there. And that's very unique to the West Coast area.
And a lot sweeter, I find. There's something distinctly different about it. I think that is those
Very
herbal
different,
elements
yeah.
that you're bringing
yeah.
up.
And also one to be put in you know, as a remedy because it's got that herbal tone, and definitely I reckon it's also one of the healthier honeys with natural areas, no farming around it. So yeah, so a very beautiful, clean honey.
I love that. Well, we do have 2 more honeys to go, but you can look forward to those taste testers at the end of the show. But for now, we are giving away a 1,400 Rand hamper from the Honey Room. All you need to do is to go over onto our social media pages and name a plant that attracts bees. Make sure you include the hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments, and this competition closes on the 22nd of May. T's and C's do apply. Thank you so much, Mike.
Only a pleasure.